BlueBox video 4.21. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to survey and we're going to add a trend line. Now, I have seen where people have struggled with adding the trend line, and in fact, what ends up happening is they try to add the trend line multiple times. And when that happens, sometimes Pearson will mark you incorrect. And so it becomes important to make sure that we don't have multiple trend lines circulating around. Okay. First, how do we get the trend line? So we're going to go to Add Chart Element, and you'll notice Add Trend Line is one of our options that we have. So as we do that, we're going to select the linear trend line. So basically, we want to imagine if I were to draw a straight line through this data, what would be the most appropriate straight line to run through this data? If you have taken a statistics class, you might have run a regression or used ordinary least squares to draw a line through data. That's exactly what we're getting here. You can see the trend line by default is blue and dotted, and they want you to make some changes to our trend line. So I will select the trend line, and as I do that, I then have the ability to change it in a way in which we want. So I'm going to go to the paint can, and I'm going to make a few changes so that instead of having the dots, we're going to have a solid line. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to color, and we're going to change the color to orange. So here we are, color, have it stand out. We're going to select orange. That was at the very top, orange accent 2. And then you're going to see click the dash type. So right here, dash type, and I'm going to choose the solid line instead. So now it's an orange solid line through the data. If by some chance you find yourself in a situation where you're getting marked wrong, but you can see this orange dashed line, and so it looks like the graph from the book, what you can do is if you just start hitting tab, and hopefully you don't have to do it for every single data point. But as I hit the tab key, you'll notice it's allowing me to sort of move through the things that I can select. So probably holding shift key and hitting tab so we go backwards might have been a better option. Should be this is actually easier from the standpoint of um, the PC, because I can usually use a drop down arrow and see all the different selections that I have. If you do end up, an alternative way would be to go ahead and just delete your trend line and make sure there's not a second one there. If there is, then you want to delete all the trend lines and start again. Let me see if I can get to the trend line a little more appropriately. Yeah, it seems to be a little more problematic on the Mac. Um, we also have the ability to, I'll have to figure out if there's an alternative way to see there we go. That's where we want to go. In here, you'll notice that I have a whole selection of the different things that I can format. Make sure that you only have one trend line in there. If you have multiple trend lines, then all you have to do is click on the trend line you want to get rid of. I only have one trend line in here, but sometimes multiple trend lines will appear. So imagine there are multiple trend lines. Just come down here and select one that is appearing. And if you then come back out here where it's still highlighted and you hit delete and it's the orange one that you want, just Command Z, undo it, come back and look for another trend line, select it, hit the delete key, and do that so there's only one trend line left, and it's the orange trend line that you want. So that if I can find multiple trend lines in here, there's a very good chance that Pearson's going to mark it wrong.